You are now listening to The Ace. That stands for Astra and Cinthya Experience. So you're asking yourself, what kind of experience are you going to get? Well, buckle up, because this ride that you're about to encounter will... I'll let you see where it goes. Here they are now, Astra and Cinthya, The Ace.
Cheers! We are back. Another week.
Another week, another day, and we are here, alive, breathing, and thankful.
Yes. So as you guys know, I'm Astra.
And I'm Cinthya.
And this is The Ace.
Woo!
So we got to talk about our week. First of all, I definitely know I had a pretty crazy week. I actually have to tell you, I got my very first pair of Jordans this week.
That's so crazy because
these are exclusives too.
I got exclusives too.
Oh, gee, I wonder where you got them.
Thanks to our good friend that took us shopping.
Yes, big shout out. I'm not going to name any names because we're going to leave people in suspense. But yes, we got some exclusive Jordans, which I've never had a pair of Jordans before in my life.
And it was Soul Stage in Soho. Correct.
It was definitely cool.
Super cool.
They reopened the store for us.
Yes. It was actually closed and they reopened the store. And apparently it's all sneakers, but it's all sneakers, super exclusive sneakers you can't get in like a regular Foot Locker.
Right, exactly. But if that wasn't crazy, yesterday I was out with a friend of mine and do I look like a hooker? Just out of curiosity.
Definitely not in that tie-dye shirt.
You have no idea. I'm sitting outside in my friend's car. We're having a conversation. This guy rolls up next to us and is like staring. So of course we're looking back like, why is this guy staring in? So we roll down the window like, yeah, can we help you? So he's like, I want a girl. We're like, what? I want a girl. What? Like, we can't, we were like, we do not believe
what kind of car was he in?
He was in a minivan.
Oh God. Everyone knows how I feel about minivans.
And I honestly thought it was an Uber looking to pick somebody up. I was like, why is this guy staring? So then we're like, girls. So I live down the block, obviously from a strip club. So I was like, there's a strip club down the block. So he drives away. 2 minutes later, comes back around the corner, pulls up next to us. I'm like, yo, the guy is back. So we roll down the window and we're like, what do you want? He goes, I'm looking for a hooker.
Oh my God. I would have got nervous. I would be like, because there's so much crime right now in the city. I would have been like, this guy's definitely has a gun on him. He's going to try to rob you.
That's
I
what
would
I
have
thought.
that.
That's what I thought. I was like, does he have a gun? Is he going to like shoot? I'm like, why is he asking for a hooker? It's not like my head is bobbing up and down or anything. So why are you asking us for a hooker? I'm like, there's a strip club down the block. He goes, no, but I want girl out here. My friend goes, yeah, well, you could go inside. You could pay for some girls and they'll come out with you.
Oh my God. That's so creepy.
And then he drove back around again. I was like, this guy is insane. So I just started thinking like, and listen, I by no means look like a hooker, but I was like, do I look like a hooker to this dude? Or because there's a girl sitting in a car?
But
like,
it's not even like he saw you out of the car.
No. And even if he did see me out of the car, I wasn't even dressed like a hooker.
No, but that's what I was going to say. Like if he saw, like, say when I go out at night, I wear like nice little dresses, like show a little cleavage. Right. Everyone thinks you're freaking
or if I was
punani.
even if I was leaning into the window of the car, like something that would be hookerish, I don't even know how hookers act, but in my idea of a hooker, it would be, I'd be leaning into a car, propositioning a man to, pay me for some services. That was not happening. So why would you stop at the car twice to ask us for girls?
That's a little, I would actually have been scared.
I actually kind of was. I waited till he drove away before I went back in my building because I was like, I don't want this guy knowing where I live. It's weird.
Yeah, weird.
What about you? Any craziness this week?
Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just took my nephew out for pumpkin picking in one of the farms out here in Melville, with my best friend and her kid. So it's more like
I thought I was your best friend. I'm kidding.
I got a few, girl.
We all have a few. I love your best friend. That's like my best friend. Your best friend is my best friend. My best friend is your best friend.
Yes, exactly. We're one happy family. But yes, no. So, I mean, Friday I went out, Friday is like my night to go out, get a little drunk, tipsy, went to the strip club.
Oh, well, you should have taken this guy with you. He's looking for a hooker.
Oh my, well, I'm not a fucking hooker.
I didn't say he was looking for you. He's looking for one. So at least you could have picked one out of the crowd for him.
So, and then like I said, Saturday family stuff, Sunday low key. And that's about it. Back to work Mondays.
Ooh. And back to all the craziness going on in the world. Of course, former Secretary of State Colin Powell passed away this week due to COVID complications. He was actually 84 years old and fully vaccinated. So they were saying that he was battling a blood infection, which made him more susceptible to getting sick. But I say I'm going to let everyone marinate on that one. But rest in peace to him. Condolences to him and his family.
Yes, rest in peace, and sending all our condolences to his family, friends, and everybody.
And then on to, of course, the biggest news this week, Courtney and Travis engaged, which everyone cannot stop talking about because first and foremost, let's be honest, she has been waiting her entire life to get married. The poor girl has kids with a man that never had the balls to ask her to get married.
Well, let's say, well, she's the oldest, number one.
Yes.
Her first marriage, she's never been married. She was with Scott Disick 10 years on and off, not even engaged. So I actually, you know what? I like him for her. I just feel I see the dynamic and it actually looks pure in my eyes. That's my opinion. It looks pure. Like, I feel like he adores her.
He does.
So I hope
she adores him. I feel like the two of them are just that inseparable, deep, undenying love for one another. By the way, the ring is like, they're saying estimated 10 to 15 carats, about $1 million. How does the drummer of Blink 182 afford $1 million ring? That's what I'd like to know.
They said between 300 and $1 million. So I guess they don't have it confirmed, but I'm assuming it's up there just because he's probably like, she's a Kardashian. You know, her sisters have, you know, Kim's ring was 20 million, 24 million.
The one that got stolen in Paris.
Yes.
Well, hopefully
Courtney doesn't. Or was it 20 carats? But it was way more than $1 million. I just read it the other day because it was comparing all the rings, you know, Chloe's and all that.
They all get big rocks though. They all get big.
But Kim had it might be 20 carats or 24 carats. That was the ones that got stolen from. That's crazy.
But Scott, hello, what do you think he's thinking right now? I would have loved to be like his phone carrier, like the service, because I want to know what the text messages are saying to everybody that he's reaching out to.
I think he's regretting it because I really feel like he still loves her. And unfortunately, he was too goo gaga and like dating 18, 19, 20-year-olds. Like, I understand. But at the end of the day, can you take someone serious in that age? Come on, yes, you could have fun, but they still have their whole life ahead of them. Like, you can't really, does it happen? Maybe. Yes, it does happen. But for the long run, it's probably not going to last. Hence, his broken up relationship again with Amelia. So
now, also, remember when Courtney and Travis were in Vegas not too long ago? Do you remember the subliminal message that Travis's daughter posted saying congratulations to them? The rumor is that the two of them actually got engaged back then, but decided to keep it under wraps because, as you know, the Kardashians, in Kardashian style, always have to be really big and put on a big production. Wait. So, you know, they're doing their Hulu show. And, you know, for this proposal that just happened, there were cameras everywhere. So the rumor is that they have already been secretly engaged. Now that they can make the announcement official and in the public's eye, they wanted to make it a whole big to-do for the show's eye.
Well, how about if they maybe might have got married too, Vegas?
They might have. Because you know what? Back in, I think it was season 1, that's when Courtney and Scott were supposed to get married. They were at like a chapel ready to get married, and then they got cold feet and pulled the plug.
I mean, they have gotten tattoos and all that stuff already.
Yes. So we don't know. I actually also think she might be pregnant, but
me too.
She looks a little round in the belly area, and I will never say someone is pregnant. Listen, at the end of the day, look at all of us. We all gained weight during quarantine.
Allegedly. No.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Believe me. I'm still trying to lose my 20 pounds.
Exactly. Me too. That's why I'm wearing my big, colorful tie-dye sweatshirt.
Your colorful hooker tie-dye shirt.
I'm wearing my hooker shirt so that, you know, I can be picked up. So I mean, I don't know. We're going to have to sit back and wait and see. But I would love that. And I just feel bad. Scott's going to go off the deep end.
Yeah. He took her for granted. Absolutely. He did, but you know what?
You know what? One man's trash is another man's trash.
I was just gonna say that.
Yep. And you want to know something? You snooze, you freaking lose. That's it.
Yep, exactly. That's what I say to all my exes. Bye-bye, bitches.
Yep.
On to bigger and better things.
Yes. And on to another story. The girl that hangs out with Kourtney all the time, Megan Fox, because you know Megan Fox, MGK, always together with them. She just stated that she has body dysmorphia, which I find very interesting. And I know you made a really good point about that.
Yes. You know what's crazy, you know, and that's taken very seriously because especially in this social media world where everything is pretty much filters. I use filters myself, especially, you know, we're involved, you're in media, you know, it's natural. Everybody use it. There's lightings, there's this and that. But you would think Megan Fox is obviously a skinny, beautiful, hot, a perfect body, you know, and she said she's had demons with body dysmorphia. Like who would have ever thought? And
but because she looks perfect to you, to her, she doesn't look perfect. And I know you made a comment when we were talking about this, you said, but if she feels she's got body dysmorphia, why does she wear almost next to nothing? Which makes a lot of sense.
I did say that. I did say that because like me, if, you know, me being uncomfortable, me gaining whatever, 10, 15, 20 pounds, whatever it is, but I wouldn't be walking around in a bikini, like, or whatever, like showing my stomach. A see-through
dress like she was at the VMAs. Like,
yeah, and I definitely wouldn't. Like,
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't do that even if I thought I looked good.
I know. Seriously, but maybe if I get one of their doctors, then be like, woo.
Send me those numbers. I need one of those doctors. Gosh, but yes, the body dysmorphia thing. I mean, listen, you and I definitely suffer from it. We've talked about this before. Absolutely. The way we see ourselves in the mirror is not how people seem to perceive us. I still don't agree because I know what I see, but of course I can't look at myself through someone else's eyes. So I don't know what you see, but I know what I see.
But one thing I could say, and you know, we're always real on this show, is that I feel like I've tried to, you know, when I was younger, I was even worse. I think I've tried to help myself and tried to make myself realize like there's only going to be one you, one body. So you have to learn to love yourself. And I know it's easier said than done, but I've definitely worked on myself. And and I know I'm a beautiful woman, but body dysmorphia is in a lot of women, more than you can imagine. So so it's just about learning to really love yourself within.
And it's also about learning to be kind to one another too, instead of putting people down.
Yes.
That's another thing. I'm so tired of seeing people, especially these Twitter trolls or the ones with the Twitter fingers on like social media, talking shit about people's bodies and how they may have changed. You know what? If they feel comfortable, let them be. Who cares what you think? If they're happy, let them be.
Exactly.
You know, and that's that, because that's what causes a lot of body dysmorphia too, when people are putting other people down, that they may not see that in themselves. You know, some people look in the mirror and they see themselves as beautiful, and you know what? God bless them. There's no reason why you need to pick on their flaws, because you know what? Everyone has flaws at the end of the day.
And also remember, guys, social media, what you see is not real. It's all filtered. So girls, women, I'm talking to our audience, which ranges from young women to older women. Like, you need to stop being so hard on yourselves because it's not real. Everything is 98.8% filtered, you know? So like, and just be kinder to yourself. Yes. Be kind to yourself. Just love yourself, because at the end of the day, whether you're married, single, there's going to be that one person who loves you for who you are, and doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. As long as you love yourself, there'll be someone who's going to love you just as much.
I agree. And now on to Vanessa Bryant making news. The LA County wants her to go through a psychiatric evaluation to determine if she truly suffered emotional distress after the first responders took and shared graphic photos from the helicopter crash that killed Kobe and her daughter, Gigi. Now, what's crazy, in my opinion, on this is, who is anyone to say anything to this woman who not only lost her husband, but she lost her child? That's a double loss, and also lost, people forget to, you know, mention, there were other people that were on that, you know, craft too. So there were other families that lost not only a spouse, but children as well. And, you know, if a regular accident happens down the block, people look and they gawk. Okay, but are they taking pictures and posting it and showing it off? No, because the person's not famous. Because the person's famous, you think you're going to capitalize on that. At the end of the day, you can't sit here and say she needs to go for some psychological treatment, because if I just lost my husband and my child, I am not going to be sane. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think they just need to, I guess because it's going through a lawsuit, so they have to get technical and see, but like, come on, leave the poor, like
she lost two family members, but let's be real. She's definitely, she's going through a lot.
She's doing a lot better than I would. I know that. So
I would be a hermit right now.
Yeah. Seriously, props to you, Vanessa, because you've been strong. You've captivated people by your speeches, and it's, that was the love of her life. That was like her high school sweetheart, for God's sake.
I know. And for anyone to try to discredit that type of stuff, to say, well, is she sane? I have no words.
Yeah.
I have no words on that. And I really hope that everything pans out the way that it should with that one. And then, of course, our last news story of the day, we had come across this article in the New York Post, which we thought was extremely interesting. A woman said she was 33 and never had an orgasm ever.
I know.
Poor thing.
How old were you when you had your first orgasm?
Oh my gosh. I don't remember. Definitely in like my teenage years. But
an actual orgasm?
Yeah.
So people confuse the two things between being wet and actually having an orgasm.
No, it's like the pulsating, throbbing feeling. Yes.
Okay. All right. But a lot of people.
But, not everyone can have it from sex. It has to be done other ways, so yeah, I didn't have it from sex. It was done other ways. What about you? How old were you?
I would say in my 20s. I was, I lost my virginity earlier than my 20s, but when I actually had an orgasm, I would have to say 23. I was 23 years old. And it happened from the way that you got it. Down, like, how do you know
how I got it? Were you there?
No. I was spying on you.
Were you peeking out of the closet?
I had what is that, the glory hole?
You did. You probably did. Oh gosh.
No, I got it from someone going down, my boyfriend going down on me.
Yeah. I feel like that's the easier way for women to achieve it.
Definitely. It definitely is. Kind of like a man. I mean, a man can go, I feel like, easy. You go down on them or they have sex.
Because a man is also a visual being. He can look at something and just jizz his pants without even touching it.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen to us. Yeah, we're going to get to that in a second. But back to this article, they were saying that it could be because of an underlying medical condition, because some medications do interfere with the body's ability to climax. So if you are going through something like that, of course, ask your gyno about that. And people with a history of sexual trauma, sex can be problematic, of course, and therapy for that is recommended. But for most people who have never had an orgasm, the difficulty lies in not being able to relax enough, or the fear of letting go, which is always an issue. I mean, think about it. When you're with somebody and they might be somebody new, a new partner, you're always going to be nervous and scared and worried. So they say try to tense and then relax your pelvic floor muscles and your booty to increase blood flow, which can increase the chance of having an orgasm.
Yeah. So little tips for you, ladies.
And there you have it. Our little news recap of the week, or I should say halfway through the week.
Yeah.
Now on to our topic of the day. And before we get into that, we have to talk about something that we talked about last week, which was that vibrator that you just showed us, the vibrator of all vibrators that you spent over 200.
Ladies and gents, I got so many DMs, private DMs, regular DMs.
I bet you did.
The side DMs are the ones, obviously, that I'm not friends with. So I check the side. So they're like, oh my God, what's this vibrator with the tongue? I was like, so many people were inquiring about it. I was like, damn. I'm like, listen, I was about to contact them because I won't give the brand because we're not sponsored.
Sponsor us.
Yes. Yeah. If we got a hold of them, they probably would have. Sorry, I hit my. So this is the infamous vibrator with the tongue.
The tongue of all tongues.
So it has different speeds. And then it has where you put another one and it goes around. and then
why does that look like an enlarged clit?
And then it has this start with another button. This vibrates, and then with the second button, this is where you put the suction cup that I told you. I never used. I'll be honest, I never use a suction cup, but yeah. So
oh my God.
and it's supposed to suck your whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? The suction cup's supposed to grab your skin or whatever with there's no air. But yeah, but my fucking hands all vibrating.
Does that tongue, does the tongue get wet, or do you have to put some lube on the tongue?
Like, no, you have to put lube, yeah.
And does that tongue go inside, or it's just around the frontal area?
No, it's for outside. It's for outside.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't think you stick it. I mean, I guess can a little bit, but
all right. And one more question. How quickly does that get you off?
I guess I'm trying to turn this off. Hold on.
You don't even know how to work it.
Well, there's 4 different levels, so I put on 4 buttons.
Oh my God.
Okay. So the first time I think it was like a minute.
What?
Because because I was like, what the, it was just,
it's exciting.
It was so intense. Yeah. And then a couple of other times it took a little longer, but I think it's because my mind wasn't relaxed.
But definitely quicker than a man.
Yes. And most men don't know how to do it, right?
Of course. Duh.
It's a very
it's a very tricky area.
Yes. Don't mind if I do.
Gosh. You know what? We got to try to get them to sponsor, because maybe we could even give some away. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. But it's a pretty cool, listen, it's not cheap. It definitely wasn't cheap. It was a couple $100. So
that's crazy. But like I told you last week, with a vibrator like that, you don't need a man in your life.
You don't.
That's for sure. Next thing you know, is there a way to put like semen in that in case you wanted to get pregnant? Like, I mean,
oh my God. I always say these men ain't shit. You're all good with one of these now.
Oh man.
I'm just kidding. No, it's good to have a man in your life. It is
a good man.
A good man. Yes. And there is some out there. So,
well, speaking of men, let's kick into our topic of the day.
Yes.
So for today's topic, it's a culmination of a couple of different things from a couple of different people that we've had a couple of different conversations with over, the course of our lives. And we're going to be talking about men's genitalia and the workings of it, and maybe the not so great workings of it. So first and foremost, have you heard of a grower or a shower?
Yes. So a grower, shower. Well, shower is when
a shower is when bigger. It actually a shower is when if they pull their pants down, they actually have a decent size. They show their
like it almost looks normal, but then when it gets
normal,
I don't know, like
because for a grower, their thing is normal too, but technically a grower is like a little micro because it grows to be bigger.
Yeah. A
grower, it's like a chia pet. You just add water.
A grower is like a little nugget, no, like a Vienna finger. A Vienna sausage, not finger.
Nugget. You called it a nugget. Wow. Wow. Now growers are going to be like, I have a nugget in my pants.
What are those sausages in the cans? Vienna sausage?
Yeah. Or like the pigs in a blanket.
Yes. That's a grower.
Yes. Correct? That's a grower because they start off small and then they grow and enlarge to the size that they should be. A shower is pretty, lengthy in size, still will grow when they get harder, but at least you can see that they're working with something. So when you see that, you're like, oh, it's going to be even bigger. Sometimes it may not be. Sometimes it might just
necessarily a grower. Does that mean they can't be big or not necessarily?
A grower is usually a nugget, and then
but can they get big to big?
I mean, I would hope so. I don't have one, nor have I ever seen one of those. Maybe someone who is a grower can speak out on this topic for us.
Okay.
But I would hope for their sake that they don't stay nugget size when they're hard. Otherwise,
of course.
Otherwise, I mean, listen, I'm sure that there are men out there that do have, as they call it, micro penises. And I'm sorry.
Yeah. So then also we have cut, non-cut.
Yes.
So circumcised, uncircumcised.
And I was thinking about that. with the whole the way that these dating apps are, the dating apps now, they offer the ability to say if you are vaccinated or unvaccinated. I think they should offer if you are cut or uncut, because it does, to me, it does matter to a lot of women. A lot of women I've spoken to say it matters, but
it doesn't matter to me. I know it matters to you.
I'm not going to say that it matters 100%, but I will say that it, it's a surprise if you see something you weren't expecting.
I don't know if I had an uncircumcised one ever. And if I did, I don't remember.
Well, here's the thing too with them. So certain uncircumcised ones, I feel, come in different thicknesses. So sometimes like the skin could be extremely thin that they look like they are circumcised and you would never know that they weren't until you feel the sheath moving. But then there's others where it's so thick that they have like the jaggedy edge turtleneck. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So then
so now do they feel the same though? Can you tell if you had a blindfold and an uncircumcised?
Okay, do you mean can you tell if you're having sex, or can you tell if you're touching it?
No, not touching it. Obviously you can tell I'm touching it, but having sex, I
don't think you could probably tell the difference, because here's the thing too, when a man's dick gets hard and they are uncircumcised,
so the sweater comes off when it gets
it rolls its way back, so you wouldn't know. But but I've also heard, that like, and I mean, again, I've had these conversations with guys I know that are both. The ones who are circumcised always say that obviously they feel much cleaner because they don't have to pull any skin back to clean. But then the ones who are not circumcised tell me that, no, we're still clean. And even when we pull the skin back, we clean the, what do they call it? The
schmegma.
Yes.
How I even knew that. Oh my God.
I almost gagged when someone told me that. I'm like, schmegma?
Like who even invented the word schmegma?
But the idea of even seeing like a cottage cheese I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
cut or uncut. Make sure your dick is clean. That's it.
Yes.
And if you'd like to weigh in on our poll, if you're a cut or uncut, feel free to let us know.
Yes. So now going with that, does dick size matter to most women? This will be a poll that we have, eventually again.
We should put that up on our story. Does dick size matter? And how are you going to answer that? I'll let you go first on this one.
Okay, so I think it does to an extent. I'm not trying to have a Vienna sausage, but I'm also not trying to have anaconda. So but again, I think it's also the way a man has sex with you. It's how the motion, how they, they work it. So you don't necessarily have to have an anaconda, but I think it's personal preference, to be honest with you. Some people like the penis in their coming up their stomach, up the neck. I know, some people, I don't know, might like a Vienna sausage. I don't know, but personally, I like in the between. So how about you, Astra?
I just like someone who knows what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't think that the size necessarily matters. It's about how you're able to work it. Because if you're able to make it feel good, then so be it. It's like at the end of the day, a woman can conform to any size because we can push a baby out of us that's the size of a watermelon. So no man's thingy is that big. At the end of the day, even if you want to sit here and say you're an anaconda, you're not the size of a watermelon, so calm down. So at the end of the day, it's like, it's how you work it. That's how I feel. So
I don't know. Have you seen Pornhub.com lately?
I have never been on, but now that I know you have, just paint that picture for us. I have seen, listen, in person, I've seen big ones and I've seen not so big ones. And I also feel too that it really depends on the connection, the chemistry you have, how much of it you can really take, because sometimes you might not be able to take a big one for someone you don't like, but you could take a big one for someone you do like. Because like I said, your body conforms to what it wants.
And what you feel comfortable. If there's a connection, I think that helps.
I agree.
So.
And then into the last part of our dick talk. Whiskey dick. Okay, first of all, let's explain what that is, because it's just super funny in itself. Can you tell everyone what whiskey dick is?
I mean, whiskey dick. Dick. I'm thinking Scott Disick.
Oh my God. Does he have a whiskey dick? He probably
I
does.
don't know. Whiskey dick. It is someone who has had a man who has had way too many drinks and can't get hard, which I'm sure it's happened to many women, but there's also, I call it, there's men that have done like coke dick, and that's another way they can't get hard either.
Mm-hmm. So how do you handle something like that if you're in that situation?
I guess you try to do like, orally give them, try to lift it up again. And if that doesn't work, give them a little bit of time and then try again. But at that point, I'd be like, I'm turned off. I'll try, but why? What would you do?
I mean, listen, what can you do at that point? If you try and they're not getting hard.
But would you try, or would you just like,
I mean, I would try, I've dealt with guys before, not a whiskey dick, I guess, but more of like, I guess they were like so high. They had like it wasn't fully limp, but it wasn't fully hard. It was like that medium, like getting hard and then kind of
like bends while it's going in. You're
it's like a half hard on, so it's like halfway there, but not fully there. And again, at the end of the day, I still think it's about your mindset. When it comes to men, it's like if their mind is too deep into their, whiskey or whatever they've done. I don't think it has anything to do with that. Naturally, your body, I think the guy can be complete into you. It's just that they have too much. No. But whiskey dick to me is like someone who's somewhat inebriated, like a little bit, alcohol, they have a little alcohol in their system. They're a little buzzed or whatever. So they're not able to be coherent as to what exactly is happening, which is why their mind is shut off. So it shuts off the rest of their body. If they were to lose the drunkenness or whatever, I feel like that's when they can be more in control of it. So that's where it can probably wake up a little bit more. But at the end of the day, if it's that half-ass broken, we'll just wake up tomorrow and do it. It's fine.
What happens if in the morning they still have it? What do you do then?
Go about my day. That's not my problem. I'll hand him a
take out the
No, I'll give him a towel and some lotion and enjoy your day. I'm going out.
Yeah.
Here's your Pornhub, whatever it was.
Your Pornhub,
Here's your Pornhub
or something. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Well, there we have it. Oh, one other thing we wanted to talk about. We're going to throw this into our celebrity related topic. Lala Kent and
for those who don't know,
Randall.
Vanderpump Rules on Bravo.
Yes, Vanderpump Rules on Bravo. If you guys ever watched the show, then obviously it takes place in LA.
She married a producer, Randall.
Which, by the way, is it me or does he look like Ed from 90 Day Fiance? Big Ed.
Oh my God.
He looks like a better version of Big Ed, in my honest opinion.
I never would have thought that, but
you know what? We're gonna do a side-by-side photo and we're gonna put that up as a poll as well. Because every time I see Randall, I think to myself, she's so pretty. Why did she end up with a Big Ed lookalike? But regardless, so they got engaged. They've been engaged for 3 years. They had a baby together not too long ago. And rumor has it, he just cheated on her. So what did she do? Not only did she scrub her Instagram of all of his pictures, but she decided to go stay at the Beverly Hills Hotel by herself, with her friends and the baby, left him at the house. And I just saw on TMZ before that they caught her and they were asking her like, hey, what's going on with you guys? Blah, blah, blah. Of course, she's not talking, but then they zoomed in on her finger. She's not wearing her ring. They're like, oh, you don't have your ring on. Is everything okay? Not saying a word, of course. They're trying to downplay it and say as if, they're working things out and that she's back at the house, because apparently some of her Instagram videos that she's been posting up are from the house. So apparently she went back.
Well, this isn't the first time she's taken off the pictures of them. So apparently this is something I guess she does. Listen, hopefully you guys work it out. The baby's so new. It has to be probably not even 6 months, if that.
Yeah, not even.
But they met when he was still married, getting a divorce. He was in the middle of getting divorced, but in 2018, I think they have almost like a 20 something year age difference, 24 years age difference.
That much?
She was young. She was like 21 when she met Randall.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's like 40. He has to be like 46, 47 now.
Oh my gosh.
But no, listen, you're happy until you're not happy. I don't know,
And that seems to be the way it goes.
It's
you're
like
happy until you're not happy.
The time thing with the sand, like what is that called? I feel like every
hourglass.
The hourglass. I feel like every relationship's like that. It's just a matter of time. It's going
until that sand runs out. You know what? For me, whenever I get into whatever I get into, that's going to be an infinite amount of sand because that shit is not running out.
No, I'm getting married once.
One and done.
And that's it.
That is it. Same.
And
on that note, let's go ring shopping. Can we get a ring as big as Kourtney's?
Yes. No, Kim's. No.
Oh my God. Listen, I'll settle for,
actually, I wouldn't, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't even want Kim's size. Like, I actually think Kourtney's size is perfect.
Oh my gosh. And I was about to say, don't you think that's a bit too big? Because with that, you need to have a couple of bodyguards going with you. There's no way you could walk around in public with that type of rock on your finger.
You can, depending on the areas you're in.
Well, then I guess you're not visiting me in New York City anytime soon. They might think you're a hooker and you worked your way to that ring. Well, on that note, don't forget to follow us on This Is the Ace. Don't forget to let all your friends know to check out our page and our videos. And if you're interested in sponsoring, of course, you can always DM us and let us know. And you can always follow our personal Instagram pages. Mine is Astra on the Air.
Mine is Cinthya 521, but also Cinthya with I, then a Y, Cinthya, because some people assume Cynthia, which I spell it different, but you guys can see it on the page. Just clarification, because people are like, oh, I looked you up, but I can't see it. It's because I don't spell Cinthya that way. So
agreed. I know so many people spell your name wrong. I'm like, it's C-I.
Yeah. Yes.
Cinthya.
Yes.
Well, until next time.
Know your worth
And never settle.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Cheers.